Hey, what's happening, everybody? So today, finally, we're doing the brakes on the Charger. They're bad. They've been bad. I don't think they could get much worse. And it's time. Everything finally came in. And with that, we're going to use these oversized tools that I got, because that's the first thing I dug out. And we're going to get these knocked out, show you guys how to do it real quick. And then maybe on the next episode, we'll put those blend door motors in when they come in, because I'm still waiting on them. They came here to town and then got sent back from the post office because they had the street address and the P.O. box number on it. So that's the good thing about living in an unincorporated town. You never know if you're going to get your mail or not. So with that, let's get to work. Now I've already chalked the wheel. Let's see if this camera, I can't even see what's going on here. Let's play a little bit with it. Bam. That gonna work? No. Let's see. I've already chopped the back wheels, so all that's done. So now it's a matter of already loosening these. I'm gonna jack the car up, put some stands under it. We're gonna get these peeled off real quick. Now, keep in mind, I have not done the brakes on this car before, so I gotta re-grab on that. I may or may not have the right tools out already. We won't know until we start pulling things apart. And the brakes are about as gone as what I was thinking, if not a little more. Come on, come on. Get these stands under here. Almost. Don't need it up off the ground that far. We got one under. Let's do the other one. Go. Set this thing back down. There we are. Go ahead and leave the jack under there just as extra. Put a tiny bit of tension on it, but not a whole lot. No power tools today to save you guys from having to hear all the hammering around. Make sure that camera's still good. Yeah, about as good as it's gonna get, right? There we go. So I already did loosen these because this is not an all-wheel drive model, so this wouldn't really do any good having it up in the air and trying to take them off, because it's just going to spin. And hopefully I ordered the right stuff. Of course, we'll turn the tire into a chair. And there we go. Hopefully I got the right tools out. If not, I'll pause the video. You guys aren't stuck waiting around while I go try to hunt down tools, because they're everywhere. I know that's what a toolbox is for, and you got one place you're supposed to go, but come on, meow. You guys know me better than that already. All right. Hopefully you can see what we got going on here. And man, hopefully these are the right ones. So we'll get what's left of this C-clamp out. This is the first car video I'm doing on here, actual work video, so hopefully it turns out okay. If it doesn't, you guys can let me know. I'm sure I'll get some kind of slack for the way I'm doing all this, but I'm going to use the screwdriver method, but I'm going to see if I can get around this hose and actually use a C-clamp on it. without messing that hose up. There we go. And I think this is the first time since we've owned the car, second time, that the brakes have been done. The last time all I did was throw pads on it because the rotors did not look bad. And since we don't live up by Phoenix anymore, the stop and go is, we don't have to deal with the whole stop and go and blowing through brakes all the time. Now I know, because I've heard it, it is metal to metal, so be prepared for that. I'm not hoping for that, but I've heard it and I expect it. Let's see and hope I got the right size socket, because I opened my kit and of course what we need was not in it. Is it anywhere in here? Let's try this. If you're in a bind and you don't have a 13, grab a half. Close enough to the same thing. Really hope I ordered the right stuff. There's so many options on these Chargers. So many options. It's really ridiculous. Come on, meow. Don't do me like that. And you would. Let's see if I can get in there any better. Of course. All right, guys. I'll be right back. I gotta go get some tools. All right, round two. Bam, we found one. So it's a 13 on the back and an 18 on the front. Get these bolts out, hold the caliper on from the guides. So I got 3 different brands of tools here going, but we make it work, right? Let's see here. There we go. There we are. Caliper's out of the way. Just gonna kind of hang it out of the way. Wow, holy crap! Surprisingly, they were not as bad as I thought. Like they were gone. They were toast. A lot of pad left on the front. Not even to the squeaker, but the back ones they're gone. So it was not as bad as I thought, but it was definitely time. See what size these are. They're big, mega sized. And see what kind of tools we can get up in there to take them off. So this is the first time that I've done any full brake job on it. Just checking for you guys. It is a 21, looks like. Probably could have saved myself a step and just pulled it apart right there, but that's what we got. Let's bust it loose. Get my finger caught, you know, typical stuff. This is where the power tools come in handy, but they're too loud for the camera. You guys will probably be hearing the airplane in the background and stuff too. show what we got going on back here. Yes, we got the bolts out. These are an 18. So these here are an 18-inch wrench, and that's the nut side of the caliper bolts. The back side's a 13. And then to get the caliper bracket off is well, I think it was a, what did I say, 21? It is a 21 to get the caliper bracket off. Remember, this is an SXT V6. So I think this is a step above the base. I may be wrong. Get you guys set back over here. Hopefully that works. So they're not as bad as I thought, or at least this side's not. Boy, I thought it sounded really horrible. Some long-winded bolts. There's one. Get the other one out. I'm not setting a world record on this, just getting it done. Wow, the rotors aren't, I thought that they'd be completely toast. And they're no good, but come on. Usually I'll take a coat hanger and hang the caliper up off the spring on the strut just to take the weight off of the hose, especially on older stuff. But this one we're going to let it slide. It'll be all right. There we go. So the top one actually won't come out all the way. It will if you fight it, but the bracket here for the brake caliper, sorry for the shaking, is actually in the way of taking it out, but it still pulls out far enough to get the bracket out. All right, so let's see this heavy bastard. Here we are. Chunk of foam in there for some reason. It's seen some heat. It's definitely seen some better days. So I'm actually gonna set this out of the way. Now, if I ordered the right kit, these are from Detroit Axle. They came with brake fluid that I'm not going to use. Brake cleaner in here. The new pads. And please be the right ones. Some vented slotted rotors. Yeah. So those will be fun. These are great for yard sales, you know. Helps keep the heat out when you have to slam the brakes on when you're doing yard sales and stuff, right? And get all this stuff cleaned up real quick and throw you guys back up here. All right, so everything's off. We're good to go. I got everything separated out now. Got our brake cleaner. We got a make last for both sides. Our new shims, or clips, whatever you want to call them. We got our pads, and we got our rotor. And make sure with these vents, when you put it on, how that they're curved like this. The far point points towards the back of the car. So this is the correct for this side. Some of them are marked. These ones are not marked. That's how they go. So let me get you guys set back up and see if this even looks right here. Yeah, hopefully my knee's not too far in the way. And them dirty hands, let's start putting it back together. Look at that. So awesome. I'm also sitting here thinking to myself, please, please, please be the correct side. Not correct side, it's size. Sorry, I just got done working at 12 and coming home, knock this out real quick. So take the old clips off. Just toss them off to the side. Bam. Get those new ones installed. go. In place, yep, all the way in. There you are. Brand new clips. Now, since the rotor's on, we can slide this back in. If I do it the right way, I'm trying to watch the camera and do this at the same time. This is where you need that extra set of hands to run the camera back here. But let's do what we gotta do, guys. All right, lined up. Get it started. There we go. Now I can pop that camera up there. Get the screen to show. All right, so we got our bolt started right here, holding the bracket, so we can start our other one. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm trying to do this with one hand. There we are. We got it started. We'll grab the ratchet and get those down in there. The long-ended bolts. And these are 21 mil. Oh, come on. Told you, long bolts. I'm only going to tighten one down on camera. There we go. Should be tight enough. We got the other one. We'll get knocked in. Get that cam set back. Bah. Of course, we get phone calls in the middle of this. While we're putting this bolt in, we might as well see if we can do two things at once here. Smallest screwdriver I own, right? Come on now. Oh, come on. There it is. Bam. Get thirsty out here in the desert, in the sun. I think it's probably about 75, 80 right now. Okay, nice and tight. With those old pads, you can see what was left, old versus new. And there's the other pad, a little bit better, but not much. Let's get these installed. Try and do this without looking. It's not panning out. Come on now. Come on, just a little bit off. A lot easier when you can see what you're doing. Ow. Every time, guys, every time. Get a little bit banged up doing stuff. Come on. There we go. Now we can see what we're doing on this side. Just kidding, I got a little bit smaller screwdriver. Come on. There we go. Of course they're tight, touch it. Ah. Sure everything's clearing. Yeah. Yeah, I guess got the pads barely touching. There we go. So, go ahead and get those back in there. Get our caliper thrown back on. Hopefully I opened it up far enough. But you know how that goes. So, damn, gotta open it up a little bit more. Where's my tools? Save. Go ahead and save that piston from me jacking it up, since I don't have the tip for the C-clamp. I remember why it came off. I think I way torqued something down and bent the C-clamp, and it twisted the end right off this thing. We were almost there earlier. Almost. There we go. Alright. You put that pad in there, either way, it keeps you from messing up the piston, because I have done that, screwed the piston up before. Obviously not on purpose. Alright, so now should, there we go. Just need a little more work on it. And I know I didn't pull the guides off and grease them. The boots are toast because we're out here in Arizona and everything gets hot. So before I waste the grease on that, I'll go ahead and order some new boots, hardware kit, and do it then, so you guys can see that the car really needed brakes like a long time ago. Put it tight enough. Put 18 up on the back of the guide. There we go. And once they get set, they'll won't be making any more noise. There's one side. One side together. And before I throw it together, because someone out there guarantees and go, whoa, hey, you didn't clean that thing up. I didn't forget. I was just trying to get all the tools and stuff out of the way. This is that horrible 50 state legal formula, so probably not very good. But they have their own, I'm sure it's whatever brand, but Detroit axle. So we'll spray that down. How I do it, you may do it different. Get the pads and everything soaked. Just do it all in one shot. There we go. All right, now I lose my chair. Throw that wheel back on. Now, I prefer to have the top lug straight up. I should turn this straight too while I'm at it. There we go. They're close to straight up. Just helps me with eyeballing, putting wheels on. Sometimes these wheels a little weird, like the wheels on my truck. You can't see around it to put anything on. Get these started back on. the big ratchet out, the real ratchet. And I will torque these down once I get it onto the ground. Go find my torque wrench and do that. For now, I'm just getting them on so I can go to the other side, knock it out with you guys, and then get it back on the ground and I'll torque them down. Kind of do what I can from right here. See, I thought I had it on there farther than that. There we go. I already forgot which ones I had and hadn't done. There. There we go. All right, that side is done. Let's hit the other side. All right, we're back. Round two. I check that cam again because you never know if I get that thing set right or whatever we got going on. Real hard to see. That should work good enough. You guys saw me do the other side, so we're just gonna get to it. Get this wheel off, and this side actually looks, this side might be down to metal, guys. This side's the side I can tell already was making all the noise. There's some deep gouges in this rotor. And if I get all this done, I can get everything scrapped out and trashed before the trash guy comes. I'm trying to race the clock with him too. These, I'm sure, are metric or 7/8. 7/8 is right about the right size. Bigger than a 21, that much I can tell you. So we run with what we brung. All right, lug nuts are off. Use the ratchet as a dam to hold the lug nuts out of the way. Bam, get this wheel off. Give me a chair. All right, let's get you guys up in here real quick. Now, I haven't pulled it apart yet, but let's see. You can see the gouges in it. You could sand my fingernails down with that. So I'm sure that this side's maybe a little bit worse shape than the other side. But let's get it knocked out. Remember, 13 mil, 18 mil for the nut side. Again, I'm gonna do the guides later once I order the kit for that. So honestly, this car's new enough, I was not expecting it to be completely dry rotted. Older stuff, yeah, but newer stuff, not too much. And then back in the back, if you can see my finger, I can't even see the camera, the sun here's so bright. These are 21, take the caliper bracket off. So, let me stick you guys back. Hopefully the camera doesn't overheat. Let's get this knocked out. Because that sun is, it's working it today. It ain't even hot yet. I almost put the our canopy up, our pop-up tent, but didn't. Oh, look at that, backwards. So guides next time. You do what you can do. This side won't take as long, since I know as long as they don't lose the hardware, it won't take as long, because I know I've already got the right tools out and everything. The right-ish tools. Right enough to get the job done. All right, there's those. I probably should have done this first, and I did find this awesome magnet hook, so I'll probably try to hang the caliper off of that. There is another way to do this, where you put a screwdriver inside the the rotor and pry it, but if you got a C-clamp, use it. If not, there's nothing wrong with the other method. Works just fine. There we go. You can tell they've been on there a bit. See, it's starting to. I think I'm gonna have to do this in the same way I did the other one. Like it's bottoming out before it even gets there. I may have to put the pad inside it and do it again. Maybe. That's about all she's got. That done with the C-clamp. Let's see if maybe somehow we're gonna have enough. Will it have enough? Will it have a spot to hang it from? There you go. Possibly good enough. Get it out of the way. See if I can get it back there under the strut itself. That's a pretty heavy duty magnet. There you go. All right, so that's off. Now we move on to those other bolts with the other ratchet. Make sure it's going the right direction. Actually, you know what? We got a little bit of space there. Get it turned. Holy shit. Oh, there's where all the noise was coming from. There's actually a chip of the pad is stuck inside the rotor, laying in it. That's where all of our noise was coming from. Actually chipped a chunk out. That's a first for me. I've never seen pads fall apart that way before. There it is. There's the piece. Let's see if I can grab it. There's a chunk of pad. Oop. Actually fell out. All right. So, back to pulling this off. Well, the short ratchet don't work. I think I did this on the other side too. Got the big ratchet out to take this apart. There we go. Yep, and down to metal. We were at metal on the back. Odd that they didn't wear even from left to right. I actually would have thought that if anything, the driver's side would wear out first. It's just shorter distance for the fluid to travel. The heat's coming. Woo! It's officially all the way on this side of the car. Month from now, you guys wouldn't see me doing this. I'd be doing this around midnight when the snakes are out and it's about 90. Actually, I think it's getting kind of snug. I'll get the other one back in just a little to hold it so I can work on it. Oh, come on now. There we go. Almost out, almost there. Okay, here's that one. Pull the bottom one back out again. Brackets off. Go ahead and kick these clips out. They only go one way. They're all the same clip. So as long as you put them in the same direction, it doesn't matter. And yep, there's where all the noise was coming from in the front end. You can see, probably see from there where it's stayed down to bare metal. There's a little bit on the front from that chunk falling out of the pad, but the back completely smoked. So I did a little bit better job this time. Got all my tools and stuff here. Kind of tossed the junk out of the way. We can start putting things back together. Get our new clips in place. Let's see. There we go. And actually, can I get away with doing both? I think I can. I'm actually going to try to put the pads in now while I can see what I'm doing, instead of after everything's together. Man, I'm trying to remember where I did the squeaker on the back on the other side. Didn't I? Yeah, squeaker on the back. Come on, hands, work for me. There we go. Much better, much better. All right, there's one in. So there you go, both in. Oh, shit. Leave it to me to throw an old one in. Yep. Well, that's what I do. I bring half of the new set over here. Someone say shenanigans one more time. There we go. And I didn't have the rotor here either, so that all worked out. Okay. There we go. Those are in. Get this out. I'm going to set the little bag inside the wheel. Okay, back's done. There we are. And remember that these slots, if you can see them, go towards the back of the vehicle. Okay, that's there. Let's see if my idea here worked. Check that out. There we go. No. I'm gonna try this and get this thing out of the sun anyway. Hopefully you guys can see as I stick it back together. So I try to do this one-handed again. There we go. And my hands are so big I can't even see what I'm doing. I just gotta kind of feel it out. That one's a little snug last time too. All right, those are started. All that ratcheting back in. After this, go test drive it. I'll do that off cam because you guys saw me put it back together, and I'm gonna go in and clean up anyway and get something to eat and get some water after we get done with this. go. Not all cars, most cars are about the same on how you do the brakes in the front. Had a car one time that lost a caliper bolt going down the highway, and I'd bought it and it fell out on the way home. The caliper came loose and was rubbing on the wheel, and I had nothing hardly at all, and really with me at all. No hardware. There was nowhere to get any hardware for probably about, I don't know, probably about an hour away from anything, and everything I think was closed. I think it was a Sunday, and I found a tube of RTV in the car, and because there was no service or anything, I was kind of stuck. I had to do what I had to do. And it was a stick car, so that helped. But oh damn, there we go. I actually ended up yeah, so we still probably gotta open that a little more, get this all set in place and see what we're working with. Yeah, still gotta open it a little bit more. Anyway, so I ended up using that RTV and filling that caliper guide up and just sitting there for a long time until that stuff started to harden up the best that it could. And that's how I drove that car home. Just used, it didn't hit the brakes anymore, but it was enough to hold the caliper in place. Everywhere I stopped, I just downshifted and made sure I had enough room to coast and tried to use the e-brake. And that's how I got home. I got home, I had tons of spare parts, but I had no spare parts out on the highway. Thing about used cars, you never know what you're gonna run into, you know, a few miles down the road or whatever. Let's see if that's enough. Come on. Really? C-clamp stuck. Come on. Come on, meow. As the cat would say. Alright. There we go. Do we have enough to clear? We got enough. Like I said, I gotta get those hardware kits ordered up. There we go. Alright, get the bolts back in the back. Get those started. Camera angles are horrible. We'll work on all this. I'll make some mounts and stuff to hold the camera while I do this. I'm going to be so sunburnt when I get done. Okay. There we go. One more just for good measure. If they break, then they were just a hair too tight, right? Okay. I figure we'll get some noise out of it. It's not everything's lined up perfect. All right, let's go ahead and finish. Let's spray the front of this off. Get those brake pads. Great for your eyeballs. Feels great. All right, hopefully we got a decent angle on that. This thing's already hot. All right, let's get the wheel back on. You can do it how you want. I try to line one stud up straight up and down, just in case you can't see through. And this is the first DIY video on the channel, so I'm sure I'll say it again before I'm done here, but leave me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think. Let me know what I can improve on. Camera angles are definitely on that list. Next time maybe I'll just use my phone with, it's got a metal mount on the back, and I'll put a magnet on it. That might work better next time, because we'll end up doing the back brakes before too long. And got some other stuff. We got to do the blend door motors on it. Hopefully those parts come in today. I won't do that video today. That might be a Friday afternoon when it's super hot, or Saturday morning kind of job. Kind of cheat getting them on there. There we go. Plus that kind of snugs them up too, gives you, they call that the snap torque. Okay, one left, and we set it on the ground. We'll do this one a little better. Okay, let's get this thing back on the ground, and I'll torque them up. So with that, everybody, thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for coming to the channel. It is a pretty new channel. I'll be doing some other how-tos on our cars, possibly some other people's cars that I work with and their friends, but mostly it'll be working on the Rampage. For right now, this had to get done. The blend doors got to get changed in the car. One side blows cold air, one blows hot air. So summertime's pretty rough, and last year when I tried to get them, they were out of stock everywhere. Typical. But I got them ordered in time this time. So definitely, if you don't mind, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave a comment. Check out the other videos. Also, we've got 2 other channels. Go check my wife's channel out, AKA Bread Co. She has auctions on Mondays, random pop-up chats, just whenever we have time. And also my other channel, the reselling channel, where we do live auctions, random pop-ups, all kinds of shenanigans. And that is Rampage Reseller. Go check them out. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know that you stopped by on the other channels. It'd be awesome. Until next time, I got some sweat in my eye, and I think some brake clean maybe, but definitely sweat. We'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Later.